What's going on, everybody? Welcome to. Oh, I was looking here, not there. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to move the camera. Probably not. Hopefully, you guys are doing good to go. Just to give you a heads up, I'm sick. Got some kind of lung infection or something. I don't know. So I've been out of it all day. I'm at like 10, 20%. But I wanted to play this game because it's been a minute since I played Grand Tactician. I can't be right. December 31st, 2023. That cannot be right. Has it been 10 months already? That can't be right, man. I can't be right. Oh man, it's been 10 months since I played that game, almost 11. Oh, check this out. So yeah, I'm gonna play Grand Tactician. Now the developers have been quiet since this patch, February 2nd. It's been March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 8 months, man. You know what they're up to? It's not a DLC. Guarantee you put money on the put money on the table that that it's daggone hold on, I'm trying to, there we go, that it's a new game. uh, I'm hoping, I was gonna say American Revolution, but we have Ultimate General American Revolution, which I gotta watch again. But uh, we already have Ultimate General American Revolution, so that's doing that, and I feel like competition, like American Revolution, is not really a big market. Like you make a Civil War game, you're going to get tons of purchases, a lot of the forum is going to be active, but for some reason, people are not really. I mean, they'll buy and they'll play some American Revolution games, but it's not where Civil War is or World War II. Um, Strange that way. Like the American Revolution is the glorious cause. Um, so I don't know, man. I really don't. I think Civil War and World War II has been done. It's been done. Um, I just realized this is not public. Yeah, my stream is not public, so hopefully it changes it now. Anyway, so I'm gonna start a new game. I know I made like a game before, and I was hoping that it would, but uh, I don't know. I Like I said, it's been December since I last played it, so it's been a minute. So I'm gonna replay it again, and this time we're gonna learn from our mistakes. Because man, did I make mistakes before. The Confederates took DC. That's how big of a mistake. So number of ships, I have more than double their ships. Size of armies, 50,000 or 75. Now, by the way, in my last game, the Confederacy out like numbered me almost like 2 to 1. Ridiculous. Experience 8 to 9. Wait? How the heck does the Confederacy have more experience than U.S. Army? That don't make sense. And morale is even. I would probably give the morale to the Confederacy, right? All right, so I got to choose what, three policies. All right. So what should I choose? I'm not doing the railroad. Indian Wars. This requires U.S. regulators to increase the size to cover keep the army fighting and okay. Security measures with the flow of weapons from the United States Army Southern is reduced, and the Confederacy will start. Ooh, I like this. I might want to do that. But industrializations, immigration from Europe increases. Yeah, I definitely need industrialization. That's number one. A policy for America to feed the world all forms to start bigger upgrade level, which relations with Europe is better. I don't care about that. Support abolition. Man, I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this right. Abolitionism. Um, so official support for hardline and bachelor will ensure that any southern sympathies within Europe will be kept in check. Go west. Eh. Kansas Free States. Nah. Underground Railroad offers substantial support from an abolitionist underground organization that helps fugitive. Okay, what does this do? Initial slave workforce for the CSA. Not so much. I'm gonna do that one, and probably that one. Probably breadbasket instead. Actually, now that I think about it. Fog of War, good. Now, this is the most important because you can't change this in the game, right? Is order delays. Now, I'll tell you, order delays drives me bat crazy sometimes. It's realistic, and I go back and forth on this all the time. So I don't know. I don't know. Uh, yeah, let's do some realism, I guess. Whatever. Spring of 1861. No, we're not going to do very easy. I don't want to do hard. Mediocre. I don't want easy. I want something in between hard, so we're going to do that. Aggressiveness, yeah. I'm going to say elevated, right? Don't you think that the Confederacy, especially under Lee, has been aggressive? So, I don't know why they use mediocre. They should put like medium. All right. So, readiness system. What is this? Oh, I hated this system. During a campaign, the unit's readiness to carry out operations varies depending on status and situation. Units with low readiness. Okay, I'm gonna take that out because I hated that system. I want feuds. All right, that works. I like all that. So let's do that. Oh, I got James Buchanan. This is before Lincoln become president. Oh man, I had a fun day yesterday. I had to take out my the lawn washer and dryer that came with the house, and it's a smaller one for like usually a married couple. I got three kids, right? So like I'm helping the guy move this stuff, and I tore apart a piece of my finger. like, like it was like I just put like a tissue around it. I'm like, yeah, let me continue helping him. And the lady's like, yeah, you should probably go get check that out because like the, the bandage, not the bandage, but the paper towel is getting like you can see like red all over the place. So, nation divided against itself cannot stand. Now I know some of you guys probably gonna ask, like, dude, why don't you play the Confederacy? You've never played the Confederacy, and generally, I usually play the Confederacy a lot. Like, if you go back to my previous videos in the 2010s, right? I play the Confederacy. I would say maybe 3 out of 4 times, but because it just like I don't know, it's just the climate now. Like how do I put it? And I don't want to like get into a whole political rant thing, but I've noticed a change, and I noticed it like probably in the 2010s. I used to go to Gettysburg, Antietam, Manassas. I went to all the Civil War battlefields, pretty much from Virginia all the way to Maryland, Pennsylvania. It's pretty much where all the major battles are. So I would go there, during the reenactments and stuff like that, and like people were there for the history, like people were there for like the reenactments, all that stuff. Um, and I did notice somewhere around I don't know 2018, 2019, somewhere around there, like things just got super political, like super extreme. Like I'll never forget. I went to Gettysburg. It's probably my last time I went there, and I was having a beer at a tavern. I forgot the name of the tavern, but O'Rourke's. I don't know. I forgot the name of the tavern. Anyways, I'm having a beer, and the bartender was there, and she was talking to this guy next to me, and she was like, "Did you hear what happened?" The guy was like, "What?" It's just like so the people, uh, the I don't know what group they were part of, but they showed up on the battlefield and they started talking about political events, and they brought guns with them, which I thought is illegal to bring guns on a national battlefield, and for good reason because the bartender was saying, yeah, one of the guys had a gun, and for some reason went to get it, pressed the trigger, shot his foot. um anyway, so I just noticed the atmosphere was just getting very political. Instead of people having like, where would wear like, I don't want to get too political, but I just seen a lot of extreme mist. And I know it shouldn't affect what country I play in a game, but let's just say they all number one flag they were carrying was the Confederate flag, and it just, I don't know, it left a bad taste in my mouth. It did. I'm on the opposite end. I'll probably lose some subscribers, and it's fine. But I'm on the opposite end of that spectrum in terms of like when people start a huge thing about like, oh, they shouldn't change the names of U.S. military bases from the Confederate generals like Fort Hood and stuff like that to U.S. generals, and I'm like, why not? There shouldn't have been U.S. military bases with Confederate general names. I'm like, you know, some of them perished in the American Civil War, right? So they never even took up an oath to to the U.S. again, right? So when you make U.S. military bases, name streets, cities, towns, all this after former, Confederate generals and officers, right? You know, especially in the Union, like in the U.S. Army, right? Like to me, it just, I don't know. Like in my head, I'm just starting to think like you have a foreign. These are generals, Confederate generals that wanted to destroy the U.S. Army, that wanted to rout the U.S. Army, and had they won, there would have been no United States. And we can go into semantics, but like I read numerous books and stuff like that from Shelby, watched documentaries on Shelby Foote and Battle Cry of Freedom, and like all the historians kind of agreed, like if the U.S. didn't win the war, chances are the whole country would have been broken up, almost like the way Europe is. So it just, I don't know, like it's just weird that U.S. Army bases were named after generals that sought the destruction of the country. And what's kind of even more crazy is like, um, you know, General Lee, which is George Washington of the Confederacy, said the Confederacy ended in 1865. Don't make any monuments. Don't have any flags. It's done. We're now Americans again, right? So like, people came forward and they were like saying, no, we're gonna go up again. Yeah, you say this. We have the utmost respect for you. Even make a day, Lee and Jackson Day in Virginia, but you don't follow the guy's rules. It's just, I don't know. To me, it's weird. All right. Oh, always wanted to try this and recreate some historical units like the Iron Brigade or Lightning Brigade. Uh, S writes, "Oh yeah, things change fast even in the reenactor circle." Oh really? I didn't know that. I did not know that. And ever since then, I stopped going. It's just, I could tell in the town, just even in a town with like regular people, um, like 2010s, 2000s, like you would go there and people would talk about like, like, did you know about like this unit did this? And, like we're, talk about like the history of units and the battle and all this stuff and have pride in their town. But then, like somewhere in the 2010s, late 2010s, it got very angry, like very hostile. Like if you had, and I don't say anything. I usually go there, have my beers. I'll watch Gettysburg if they have it on the thing. But you could tell just the atmosphere changed, and I want to go back. I want to kind of like, and I'm planning to go back. I just hope it's different now. But I don't think so because the political climate now is still very turbulent right now. All right, so the first thing I need to do here is so the big problem that I had in the last one was I didn't have enough troops. So we definitely need to focus on like 3 month contracts, 12-month contracts. So that's number one. And I'm gonna do one at a time because if you do one at a time, they're faster. So if I do this now, like I'm not gonna do diplomacy, but uh, let's say I do this. Watch this. This is now double. So it's just best to just do one at a time, and I'll just manage it. Thank you. It says, yeah, unfortunately, things like you said went from jokes to super political. The type like you're with me or against me. Kind of sad because you used to be able to just shoot the breeze about history. Yeah, totally, like 100%. Like that's exactly it. Like I went to those reenactments and it changed in that late 2010s. It changed, and I don't know. And the other thing that bothers me is like you have some people that, and I'll never forget this, and it really bothers me, and that I was at the bar having a drink, same people, bartender, the guy next to me, and the guy next to me lives like 20 minutes from Gettysburg, right? And he was talking about like the casino, right? If you guys are not familiar, they've been trying to put a casino on the Gettysburg battlefield for like 20 years or something, 10, 20 years. And the American Battlefield Trust, if you guys are not familiar with the American Battlefield Trust, I will show you. I need to donate to them. But it's these guys. These guys fight this like every year, plus the Gettysburg Foundation. So these two organizations fight it, and they do it every year. But these two organizations, which I used to give money to all the time, they fight it every year. They're just like constantly like going to these meetings saying no, no, putting money down. Like one piece of the battlefield that became available where Lee's headquarters was, and this was like a prime area for like the developers to come in and say, "Oh, this is where we're going to build our casino, or this is where we're going to build a new Marriott or a Hilton or whatever," right? So the American Battlefield Trust went there and bought up all that land real quick. And then what they did is, and what they do is they sell back the land to the National Park Service for a dollar. For a dollar. So now, if you go to Lee's headquarters in the Battle of Gettysburg, in the top, the northwest of town, it's exactly the way it basically appeared in 1863. Um, and they do this constantly. There was a Pickett's Buffet, which is if you go to Gettysburg a lot, you'll know where that is. Went up for sale. They were moving, and so that land became available. It's right next to Cemetery Ridge. Like you can be at Cemetery Ridge, see Pickett's Buffet, and they bought it up, added it to the national park. But the problem that I had is the guy, and I think even the bartender was like, "Yeah, we need to bring in this casino." I'm like, "Casino? Really?" They're like, "Yeah." They're like, "It's gonna bring in jobs." I'm like, "If you put a casino," and this was a casino in the middle of Cemetery Ridge. You're talking about going from where the Confederates launched the attack on Cemetery Ridge. You walk and you'll pass the casino. Like literally, the casino will be right there. And then it brings up a whole bunch of things like if the casino got built there, will they allow those walks to happen anymore? Right? Because the casino was going to buy all this land. It's like, yeah, we're not cool with you guys walking across the field anymore, right? And Gettysburg Foundation, American Battlefield Trust came in and is like, no, like we're buying this land, giving it back to the Park Service. So this is this constant thing, and the guy and I think the bartender too was like, yeah, we need jobs. I'm like, yeah, but isn't that gonna be an eyesore? And they're like, you don't understand, we need jobs. I'm like, okay, like I can understand that, but technically you have a great market here. This is Gettysburg. This is where everybody in America, Australia, Europe goes to, um, you know, view the battlefield, view the 3 days of Gettysburg, right? So orient your business, your jobs around that, and the whole town has. So I don't understand, like you're making money, and trust me, I went to Gettysburg the 90s and the 2010s. It's a night and day difference. You used to go to Gettysburg and there was no Marriott, there was no, like, the biggest thing I ever saw was Domino's, right? And it was on a corner. It was a small little shop. That was it. That was pretty much the only corporate. But now, if you go to Gettysburg, I think there's a McDonald's, Wendy's, AutoZone. Like, just go down the line. Marriott, Hilton, all these hotels, right? All these corporations, and a lot of them are eyesores. They don't fit with the with the town, and it's not good, man. I don't don't think I could buy any of these. No appointment possible. Okay. I'm gonna try to stop talking and focus on the game because my yeah, in about 40 minutes I have to stop. So this is one thing I want to like automate because I really don't want to deal with like all the coal factories. While it's a really amazing thing in this game, you can make your own coal factories, wheat farms, foundries, all this thing. I think it's incredible, and I love just the amount of like stats here. Like Ironworks in Philly produce $1.4 million, and this is all the stuff that it produces. Like it's just really amazing. It tells you how much of a workforce there is. This game is the bee's knees of Civil War games. Like if you ever wanted to know what Civil War game I get to get, it's this. There is no if, ands, or buts. It's this. Nothing else. Okay, I'm just gonna probably let it run for a little bit because there's not much. I have no armies. I do have a fleet, one, I think, and ships in harbor. Weapons. So automated weapon purchases. I want to actually buy weapons because I got messed up before with not having enough weapons for my boys. Springfield musket. What was the Enfield? Is it the Enfield that was kind of the first rifled? I know you got rifled carbine and stuff, but there we go. Springfield. I got 18,000 pieces. Obviously, I'm going to buy more, but I can't. Why? Oh. Now, the question I have for that, and I'm trying to remember, is like, how do you swing the industry to start building that stuff, you know? I'm trying to remember what Foundries and Ironworks did. I know some of you guys are like, dude, Springfield Armory, what does this produce? Okay, so the armories produce that. And this produces iron ore. And then, what else do I need? Ironworks produce. Yeah, so I want Ironworks, and Foundries produces what? Actual raw materials, I'm assuming. So I'm gonna do like I don't know, two Ironworks for every Foundry. I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Correct me if I'm wrong or I messed that up or whatever. Um, and I'm gonna put the jobs in New York City because that's where I'm from. Well, that's where the population is, and I think you get like a bonus or some kind of thing if it's built next to a railroad. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's put it right there. That's $18 million. All right, so I'm gonna build another one. I'm gonna build it in Massachusetts. All right, and then I'm gonna build another one. I'm gonna go into debt from this, but it's cool. It's okay. I wonder if it matters where I build ironworks. There's just so much stuff in this game. You gotta like, yeah, Springfield. I'm assuming. I forgot what these pips on the bottom of the cities mean. If you guys know, let me know, please. I'm gonna put it in. I don't know, Trenton. There we go. All right, I'll go to 5x. So I'm gonna start building these foundries and all this stuff. State militias mobilizing. Now, question for you is, what is the militia of today? Now, just to give you a heads up, those groups that call themselves a militia are not actually the militia. The militia today is composed of the Army National Guard, Air National Guard, State Defense Force slash State Guard that comes under another many names, Naval Militia. If you guys are not familiar with the Naval Militia is basically you'll probably see them in New York City on the waters of New York. It'll say Naval Militia on the side. But basically, most of the Naval Militia personnel, I would say 90%, maybe 95%, are U.S. Marine Corps and U.S. Navy reservists. And they basically do things like patrol the harbor, assist with the Coast Guard. You got 5 or 10% of the Naval Militia that is civilians that I think went through some kind of training and now part of the Naval Militia. Ooh, that's a big interest level. Sums up. Ooh. Now, the number one thing you want to do is get a good credit rating. Like this is why I'm not dealing with the finances. I'm auto doing that because no, that was another thing why I couldn't make troops is because of finances. You don't got money, nobody's gonna come out of the woodwork, right? So, what day is this? February. So we got a while. Like April is Sumter, right? So this is just gonna be like news clippings. So we got March and April. I do also just published a video today about sea power. Now this game, I'll be honest, this game really, really changed my perspective in regards to what I need in terms of computer. I have a mid-range graphics card, and I notice in this game it gets bogged, especially when you have so many units firing, artillery shells, everything, right? So I was thinking, I was like, man, I need like a high-end NVIDIA or AMD graphics card. AMD, always go AMD because NVIDIA I hear are a the next word. They're really horrible, especially to their people that make the actual graphics cards. And they're too big for their own good. I think they're just. This is a reason why one of the biggest ones, graphics cards makers, stopped making NVIDIA. Is because like NVIDIA was just like just a, and then the rest of the next word. Do some research on it, you'll find out. Anyway, so I get AMD, and I've been thinking about getting AMD high-end AMD graphics card because I'm like this game it drops down to single digit frames. We're talking like 8, 9 frames per second, especially when you have like massive armies, corps moving around, divisions. It's a lot, right? So I'm like, I gotta get a new graphics card maybe. So I started looking around. Now C Power is coming out, and I look at the graphics there. We're talking about like a B52, and you can make a B52, and it looks pretty. These guys went in and they zoomed in on the plane. They made the plane with like individual rivets. They went to like where the door is on the B-52 and started adding like rust on the side. I'm like, dude, that's some attention to detail. That shows love right there. Um, and so I need a new graphics card. I need to pay off my mortgage first, actually. Now that I think about it. That's going to take 30 years. All right. Successionist, Minutemen, Governor Jackson, preparing secession. Oh, okay. You guys want to know something interesting? So, do know that every year or every few years that there are states, I'm not going to say which ones because I don't want to put a bad, but that talk about succeeding from the US. Like they actually put it up on the legislative calendar, and I think they even do debates on it, leaving the United States. And I remember just reading it, and I'll go online and I'll have to do some legislative work for my military side. But like I'll go through it, and I'm like, what? We settled this question in 1865. You can't do it. Like I just find that really shocking. Like, and what's funny is a lot of these states, um, take money from the federal government, right? Like, a number of these states do take money from the federal government through unfunded mandates. It's a lot of political stuff, but basically, mandates or unfunded mandates are a way for the federal government to give the states money to bolster their budget. Um, so I just find it really interesting. I'm like, you're talking about leaving, but you're taking like 3, 5, 10 billion dollars from the federal government. What are you gonna do? Like when you go out on your own, like where is that money gonna come from? Like are you gonna increase taxes? Because that's gonna be a surefire. So Kentucky vows to remain neutral. Governor McCuff, a Southern sympathizer, succession gating support. Ooh, I think there is a way to kind of. I wonder if I forgot if there's a way to kind of like, not push, but to get like. Oh, PGT Bard takes command. Now, funny thing is, guys, if you want to know this, Beauregard fired the first shots at Sumter. Guess who was his um, professor that taught him all this stuff, that military and artillery and stuff like that? The commander at Fort Sumter. I just thought that was really interesting. It's just funny how, and there's also another thing about the Civil War, like Fort Sumter. It was the blood. It was no one died at Sumter. Nobody. It was a bloodless battle to the most bloodiest war in American history. It's just crazy, right? I'm trying to remember if you can. Tech. Okay. The maps are updated. So you got one, two, three, four, five, 6 states. Florida joined. I'm trying to remember if you can influence a state to. Davis calls for militia 12-month contracts. It's March, so about a month away from the actual fights. Lincoln inaugurated. You know, John Wilkes Booth was there at one of his inaugurations. Like, within, you know? Oh, I'm at an A minus now. Kind of reminds me every time we talk about Virginia. Um, is I watched that movie Generals, the Generals, the movie before Gettysburg, or the Killer Angels, the first book by Jeff Sarah. And Jeff asked me and was like, "Did you ever read the Generals book, the first one before Gettysburg?" I'm like, "Nah, I saw the movie and I'm just like, I I love your." I read the Last Full Measure and all of his Civil War books actually, and I was just like, I didn't want to read that because you know the movie was a little. And he says, the book is completely different than the movie. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. I was like, I didn't know that. He's like, yeah, the director or producer went on a completely different tangent than the book. And I was like, I didn't know that. He's like, yeah, I would highly recommend it. But one book he highly recommended is Gone to Soldiers. Now, if you guys are not familiar with it, so if you are a big fan of Jeff Sarah, the Killer Angels, things like that, um, you gotta read this book. I mean, I read parts of it, so I'm not gonna say give you a full review of it. But Jeff Sarah recommended this as like, this is the book that I would recommend people read. And I was like, oh, really? It's like, yeah, it's like one of his favorite works. I'm like, oh snap, I did not know that. So yeah. All right, so Confederate States Army established. What about my army? Where's my army? And I think my army's there. I got a garrison, 189 guys. That'll stop the Confederacy, right? My finances. So, okay. I have more money than the Confederacy. That's always a good thing, right? Okay. I'm just trying to see. All right. He's just got garrisons, I think. I don't even think there's any armies. Yeah, it won't even let me touch the garrisons. Let's get to April. Should I go 50x? That's gonna be crazy. Should I build more? I think you know what I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. I got an A rating. I'm gonna try to keep my rating. There's so many things that will affect you in this game, right? So if you don't have enough foundries, ironworks, you can't build as many rifles and cannons, right? But at the same time, if you build more ironworks and more foundries, then you go into debt, which reduces your credit rating, which means that you're not going to be able to form new units. So you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. You gotta have that nice middle. So I'm gonna try to get to Fort Sumter before my little ones come home, because my little ones, I'm in the living room, so they are loud. My little ones are gonna be drill instructors one day. No, I'm joking. A speech delivered in Savannah addresses the nation. Cornerstone address. Auto saving. I love the auto saving. You guys ever run into games where like you're mostly through the like I don't know, you're halfway through the game and you're like 8, 10 hours into the game and the game crashes and you're like, I didn't save for 10 hours. That's fun times. Those are probably my least favorite. Like I was just all right. New policy. Oh, I only have 2,400 men that I can. Six small regular with good training. Ooh, I like that. Legal blockade. I'm not gonna do that. Militia act. This will take 12-9. Yeah, we're gonna form the provisional army of the Potomac. I love the graphics that are. Look at this. Just, I really hope that the developers of this game, Grand Tactician, really made good money from this game, because like we have to reward like art. We have to reward passion, right? Because like I'll be honest, like one thing that bothers me a lot is like I'll buy NBA. I bought NBA 2K24 and NBA 2K25 is out, and the publisher and developer that spend like 1 to 200 million dollars on the game every year. You go in the game, it's like, what's different? And they'll go as far as like, especially on the NFL game that they release, they'll remove features only to add it 2 or 3 years down the road. Say, hey, we added this feature. Now you didn't. You had it, you removed it, and you added it back. So I have. I mean, I wonder where that money goes. I have a good sense of where it goes, but so I'm at A rating. I'm gonna try to build more because I'm gonna need it. I need to build farms too. I'm gonna build it upstate. I always go to the like the up, down, left, right arrow key, not the WASD. I'm gonna build it right here, and you should always build it next. Oh, there's a farm right there already. How about that? Syracuse. Build a farm here, I think. That's $12 million because you got to feed the soldiers. You can't just not. Hey, guys, we're gonna have you march 100 miles. What's for dinner? I don't know. Water? Dirty water. Oh man, my lungs. Excuse me. Sorry. Dang. It comes hard. Now, if I were like any other YouTube channel, I would be like, please donate to my channel. Please give whatever you can in the chat. I'm not going to do that. I can tell you, I watch YouTube a lot of tech channels, things like that. I can't, I get tired of hearing of people like, please subscribe to our, please not subscribe, but like, please, buy this, or here's our store. We added this. Like, please, add a merch. Buy something here or donate this. And I'm like, geez, enough, guys. Seriously, like, just take it down a notch. Like, stop asking for begging for money. YouTube used to be like, I'm gonna do what I love, and oh, wow, I got some money out of it. That's cool. But King Cotton policy, ah, Cotton won't be king when I blockade their arbors. Am I right or am I right? There's a foundry there. I'm gonna build something else there. Workforce available 78%. Build that. Oh, no, 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 no. And I want to build. That was ironwork, right? Yeah, I want to build a foundry. Beautiful. That's what you gotta do, guys. Spend that money. I can do Hall's carbines, which I'm not. So we're nearing April, so let's go to 50x. Can I pick any military units? No, still no. I think things will change when I get Fort Sumter event. Yeah, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Another building, foundries. That's what I need. We're gonna industrialize. Ooh, Major Anderson. That was the professor for PGT Bard. You know what this game needs? Hotkey. I want to see if there's a hotkey to pause it with the space bar. Oh, there's no hotkeys. Oh wait, there's a hotkey. Pause game. There we go. I'm gonna change that. How do you? There we go. Love this. Thank you, devs, for that. All right, so I built a foundry. Conditions 100%. Losses in tax revenues minus 161. I'm hoping available workforce is 21%. Hopefully the population grows to meet it demand, because I got a lot of demand. So you guys are probably wondering. Oh, here we go. Cannot be called. They need to speed that up. That guy's like chapter 2. So yeah, we're just gonna go back to the game. I wish there was a way to skip those kind of things. All right, so the one thing I'm not that crazy about is like these chapters change the map, right? So like there's new armies on the map. I don't like that. I wish it was like more sandboxy. I wish there was a way to turn it off. Oh, man. Okay, and I did turn off the readiness thing, so I don't have to deal with. Now the question becomes. Oh, call to arms. All states to provide troops. Civil war is imminent. Ooh. I got it too fast. Okay, so what is this? Unit 25 with 8.5. Alright, so there's the Army of the Potomac here. 4,300 men. Now, one thing I learned in my last breakthrough is make sure all you guys got guns. So, like, these guys got a musket. We're not doing that. Springfield musket. Rifled musket, whatever you call it. Shoots farther and more accurate. I mean, you see how far fast it's going, though, right? I just armed one entire division, and I'm at 13,000 out of what, 12,000 left. And these are not big units. 800 men, like they're not that big. Sharp's carbine, nice. 12-pound Napoleon. These guys, I'm gonna give. They're a militia brigade, and their contract is out. I'm not gonna give them good weapons. I was thinking about the Mississippi rifle. That's not happening. All right, and then we definitely need to like defend DC, right? Because I think I put the AI as aggressive. So, ooh, rifled musket. That's good. So what we're gonna need to do is make sure that my boys can hold DC because I lost it last time. So I got that. I'm not really that concerned about him. I think the West is really going to be like quiet for right at least in the beginning. I mean, we all know it's going to be quiet. 1,500 men in a whole break. Oh, they got rifled muskets. Ooh, beautiful. So, the other thing that you need to focus, and I think this is the big thing that probably end the. What time is it? Um, the thing about it is they came out with a DLC for this game, which I forgot the name of it. But basically, you take the role of like a lieutenant or a captain or what have you, and you start out with like I think a regiment, and then you go to brigade, then division, then corps, then army, and you work your way up, which I think is really awesome. DLC, a really awesome concept for a DLC, but just not right away. I wish they've focused on the first DLC on the naval aspect, right? Like maybe making naval combat critical, right? Like almost like an Empire at Empire. What the heck is that game? Total War, Empire Total War, Napoleon Total War, having those type of fleet combat things. So I was hoping for something like that. All right, so I got 4 squadrons flying Atlantic blockade. Ooh, some of these ships are not in good shape. Jeez, they're in bad shape. Look at this. They've been rotting in dry dock for a long time, I guess. So we're not going to use the fleet anytime soon. And they're moving the Army of the Shenandoah here. So guess what? Whatever they do, they're going south. Why would he get off here to move south? Wouldn't that make more sense if he's going south? Why would he get off the railroad? Should I reinforce Sumter? I mean, like, Sumter is not that big of a. I don't know if it's auto that you lose it auto wise. Oh, I guess I did lose it auto because it's. Okay. Alright, there's a Confederate army there, so we gotta give McClellan his. I don't want to go to B, man, in terms of like the. I'm gonna go to Marietta in terms of the rating here, so I'm gonna try not to. Last scene over here is the Army of Shenandoah. I don't know why they're here. That doesn't make any sense. No research policies. Oh gosh, seriously? I went so many days. How many? I'm gonna do that. And that's. Oh, what is this? Suppress population. Dang. Okay. Alright, so I need to build. Ah, man. So I got 4 armies. Army of Northern Virginia. Add new units. Let's pull from where? Ah, man. Illinois. Should I pull from Georgia before they go away? Delaware. Connecticut. This is another thing. This is why you need to get to the draft as quick as possible, because these numbers eventually not going to be able to keep your army around. Let's do Iowa. But another thing is, like, actually, I'm not going to do it because it's only 3 month contracts. It's a pointless to have an army with 3 month contracts. I'm gonna clothe them, train them, give them a gun, right, for 3 months. By the time they get, I mean, basic training in the army is 2.5 months. So like, by the time they get ready to fight, I'll have one battle, go home. You know. Oh, I keep hitting the bloody thing. 20%. Hampton blockade efficiency. Okay. Well, we're gonna, I guess. What's the status? Jeez, my gosh, you guys are not in good shape. I got this home squadron, so I'll move the home squadron. uh, Question is where? What's a vital port for the Confederacy? I know you got, like, during the Civil War you have multiple. Oh, there's a fleet there. Let me. Let's blockade Savannah. Let's go there. Actually, hold on. Let's go closer. It's not that close. So now it's like a stalemate. And they got a division here with 1,200 men. It's gonna go up to 19,000. They're recruiting faster than I am, and I don't want to mess around with this because I'm at triple B's. You want to, like I said, the last one I didn't do too well. But what I can do, excuse me, jeez. Oh, they're bringing out the North Carolina squadron. Let's do that. Let's get there before they get to us. So they moved the army in Shenandoah there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take advantage of it. Like, I'm gonna threaten them because that's what you gotta do. I'm gonna move the Department of Pennsylvania. It has 5,000 men. They got better rifles and all that good stuff. So probably gonna end in about 5 minutes because I'll go lay down or something. Oh. Whoa, whoa, there we go. There's a battle out in sea. The first shots. Well, sort of. No, 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 not that fast. All right, we're definitely gonna win. They have, what the heck are these? Tender gunboats? Ew, they have gunboats. I already sunk one. You're not gonna be able to match me, my friend. Sink your Captain Baron. Look at this. Whatever navy they had ain't gonna be doing too well. Two ships have been sunk, 3 captured. Beautiful. That should bolster morale a little bit, huh? What do you guys think? I have a flotilla there, so I'm not gonna go there. I will go here. Already half our provisions are gone. Yeah, we can't go there. Dang it. Let's go here. Let's refuel on provisions. You would think they would stock all the food in there before they go. Flying flotilla. How you doing, my friend? 2 ships. A gunboat and a sloop. Ooh. And, oh. The Constitution. I'm going to put the Constitution in there. Oh, what the heck? Not bad. How do I... Oh, cool. Easy. Easy peasy. Alright, I'm going to move the Pensacola. The John Hancock. Alright, cool. And they're at half provisions too. Why are you guys not moving? Marching. You're marching. I told you to take the railroad, my friend. First battle. Rebellion. I might watch the Civil War with Ken Burns. Oh, by the way, guys, huge news. I think we're like 1 year away. It's 2024, right? We're literally a couple months away, or maybe I doubt a year away, but less than a year, hopefully, for Ken Burns' The American Revolution. Did an incredible job with the Civil War. Bar is set. And it makes sense because it's the 250th anniversary. Now, for now, I will tell you one thing. I will be going to Lexington and Concord for the 250th. I would advise you guys to go too, because there's only one time at 250 comes around, right? I mean, there's 500, but I don't think you guys might, you know, 500 is, that's further away. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here, guys. I've it's gonna, yeah. I need to end it here. All right, let me know what you guys think so far. What you think I should do in terms of like winning. If you're veteran Grand Tactician players, I would like to hear from you. But yeah, I'm wondering what the developers are doing. Now, normally I would say like, hey, I'm gonna do an interview with the developers, but I got like so many interviews to do. Like I'm trying to get like National Guard generals to interview, so probably not anytime soon. So like once I interview one commander, I interview another one, what kind of missions they're doing, all this stuff. So we'll see. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy.